Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Jimenez. Really excited to be here. I'm really looking forward to the next 10 weeks or so as we kind of progress through learning about leadership, a topic that I believe is really important to how we live out our lives, how we interact with others, and how they interact with us. Um, Before I get into that, though, a little bit about who I am and where I'm from. I'm originally from Southern California. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I lived there till I was about 14 years old or so. At that point, my parents kind of moved us away, moved us to a little town south of Riverside, just north of San Diego, called Wildomar. At the time, it was maybe a town of 25,000 people. So you can imagine that culture shock going from hundreds of thousands of people to just less than maybe a fraction of that. Um, in any case, I in Wildomar is where I met my wife. We've been married for 14 years, or going on 14 years. We have three kids, 14, 11, and 10. Yep, I had to think about those dates a little bit because I don't think I'm that old, but apparently I am. Um, when my kids were, I'd say when my oldest was about 8 or so, I joined the military, and having joined the military, we kind of traveled around. Was stationed at Fort Hood for a little while, Fort Rucker, Fort Jackson. The last place I was at was Fort Wainwright, Alaska. That I was there before I traveled here to Arizona, where I'm currently at. Yes, two big weather extremes, and then just kind of polar opposite, right? So for 2 years, I was in the Arctic desert, and now I'm in the actual desert. But truth be told, I thoroughly enjoy the summer heat over the winter cold in Alaska. Um, I left the active force to accept a commission as a chaplain, which is kind of what's brought me to seminary here as I kind of begin the second year of seminary studies here for me. So that's a little bit about me. And as I kind of progress into leadership, I think one of the greatest things instilled in me by the military is what a leader should look like, how a leader should act. Unfortunately, the military does this crazy indoctrination thing, right? Where everybody has to look the same, everybody has to be the same, speak the same. There is no character or charisma to who you are. You are military. That's who you are. But the expectation of a leader is this: a leader should be able to provide purpose for those who are his subordinates, his or her subordinates. And that I think is usually the hardest thing to do is why are we doing what we are doing? But if you're able to define that, you're able to then kind of step out a little bit further and provide direction. And I think a lot of the times when we look at leadership, both in and out of a church, we tend to think some of these leaders are a bit inept, unable to direct people, unable to truly bring out the best in everyone. But I think that's usually because of the lack of motivation or the lack of purpose that the individual has. And it's not that the individual started out that way, but when they had this fire about them that they were going to serve God, right? It's quickly extinguished by a leader who's unable to direct them. So in that, providing purpose, providing motivation, providing direction as to what we should do is, I think, part of being a leader. And just to kind of wrap this up, I think sometimes a leader should know. Well, it's not. I think. I believe that a leader should know their limitations and the limitations of those who are underneath them. In doing so, you're able to provide the best care, the best service, the best. You provide the best of you for those who are giving the best of themselves. In that, you become a servant leader to serve those who are serving you. In any case, I think I've gone over on my time a little bit. So I'll cut this short here. Blessings, and I look forward to seeing you.